guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Arrow, so let's talk about tonight's episode, Draw Back Your Bow. So this episode is about Cupid, someone who is stalking Arrow, and we've seen her in previous episodes, Easter eggs, and she just wants to be with Arrow, and she's nuts. So this is very much an episode about love, and maybe it would have been better for Valentine's Day, because you get to see Thea as a new love interest, Roy and Felicity got something going on, and Oliver has nobody, and now he's really getting the fallback of that. The ending, we get to see that Ray Palmer is probably getting a lot closer to being Adam. It does reveal the suit of Adam, so he's getting closer to that. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? He is a superhero in the comics, but we'll see the Arrow version of him. Then the ending was kind of the same ending as last week, where we get to see another new villain introduced, and that's how they're ending it. And it's Captain Boomerang, who's going to go into the Flash / Arrow crossover, which is not next week, but the week after. So there is no Arrow next week. And that's pretty much the episode. What did I think? Honestly, this was probably the most disappointing episode of the season. I was kind of bored, felt really predictable, and it just did not really interest me that much. I mean, of course it's Arrow, so, you know, it's still a good episode, but for Arrow, this was really, really lacking. Honestly, did not care about the Cupid character. I thought she was very campy, and there was a point where I didn't think she was campy, and it felt very villain of the week, and it just felt like that week episode from last year after, I would say, the mid-season premiere, where it was just like, I don't even remember, I think it was called something point, Breaking Point or whatever, where they had like the couple of one-shot episodes. And then they referenced Suicide Squad, which I really don't like the Suicide Squad and Arrows, like all the bad things they reference in this episode. And she's going to join the Suicide Squad. I'm like, I really don't care about that. So yeah, you get to see a love interest type episode, and she's crazy. But I do like the line where he goes to Cutter's therapist, Cupid's therapist, and she says, you probably need a therapist. And I thought in the end, I thought Roy and Oliver would go to a therapist instead of Dick. But you know, that was a good moment where you get to see them come together, Dick, Roy. And honestly, I thought Roy just wasn't used enough here, as I think this season has been lacking a lot of Roy. Of course, we had a centric episode last week, but he really didn't do much. They were like, oh, you know, I'm upset, you know, why are you upset? You know that thing last week, I'm still upset about that. Yeah, they could have done a lot better. It was just, it felt like they were trying to push Roy, and they didn't do much with him. And, you know, what I was most disappointed with, well, you know, I was disappointed with a lot of things, but Olicity kind of felt a little forced here, and I love Olicity, so it felt weird that it was so forced. And, you know, I like that Oliver is now discovering, do I want to be alone, and don't I? And now it's too late. It's not Felicity chasing Oliver. It's Oliver going to want to chase Felicity. I know a lot of Olicity fans are going to be happy about that, because I know non-Olicity fans and just Felicity fans are upset that Felicity's always the one googly eyes over Oliver. It's never vice versa. So I think Felicity kind of has the power now, which is interesting. But it's cool that Oliver missed his opening with Felicity, and I mean, I do think they're going to end up having a relationship, but who knows, you never know. I hope they have a relationship, but I thought it was interesting how they played that on Ray / Felicity / Oliver. But the most disappointing thing about this episode was Thea's arc. Damn, that was bad. I mean, this love interest sucked. There was no charm to him at all. It was just stuck in there. Like, it felt, you know, as much as the Olicity plot felt forced this episode, that love interest plot was just really stuck out as a sore thumb. It's like, you just put Thea there because you haven't had her last episode. And, you know, we have badass Thea, and she just kind of reverted back to what she was. And it wasn't, you know, the character's fault. It was just the storyline. It was just like, oh, you know, I'm part of the club. It just felt like season 2 Thea, except, you know, she kind of stood up for herself in the beginning of the episode. She's like, oh, well, I can take care of myself. But she hasn't proven that ever since she went to Starling City again. So, really disappointed with Thea's arc, and I really don't like a love interest at this point. I just felt it was so forced. It's just because, like, oh, well, Thea can't be with Roy, she's got to end up being with somebody else. Unless he's connected to the comics somehow. I saw some theories. I still think he's, I don't know if I'm correct about this, but my prediction is he's that spy guy that Mia Dearden was kind of dating in the Black Canary Green Arrow series. Don't remember his name at all, but I think that's him. Some people are saying because his name's Chase, it could actually be the female Chase, who's also a secret agent and dealing with all metahuman stuff. So that could be interesting. But yeah, I hope there's something more towards him because he felt really flat here. And I've seen Austin Butler in different stuff, and you know, I've liked him in some shows and others I haven't. I think the show I did like him in was Switched at Birth. He was pretty good in. But yeah, so he's kind of hit and miss for me, but it was a weird arc for Thea. I was expecting a lot more from her, especially since I don't think we're going to see her much in the Flash Arrow crossover, because they're going to be dealing with the Flash Arrow crossover stuff. So I hope towards the mid-season finale we'll get some with her, especially since people are guessing that Thea's the killer, and that's still my guess that Thea's the killer. And it seems like we're going to get a major shift in the show after mid-season. Some people are guessing that Oliver pretends his death or something happens to him. So that will be very interesting where that's going to go. But yeah, this episode was bad. I didn't like it at all. I mean, there's, you know, some golden nuggets here. It's Arrow. Of course, you're going to get golden nuggets, but this was the worst episode of the season. I really just did not like it. But hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, I'm excited for Arrow / Flash crossover next week. I'm sorry I didn't have a Flash episode review this week. I went to actually a preview screening for Kingsman: The Secret Service, so I was not able to review Flash. I'll probably watch Flash tonight sometime, and then of course I'll continue my Flash reviews. It was just 1 week I wasn't able to do it. I'm very excited for the crossover. So if you guys enjoyed, this is Comic Uno. Of course I'll have a review for Arrow next time it's on, so not next week but the week after. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rand Situations. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also in the description below there's links from my comic book Like Father Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.